Hi there, this is Dilys Gayan, and thank you for registering to watch one of my most popular masterclass trainings, which will help you to rapidly fill your pipeline with red hot leads. And what you will discover in this training is how to avoid the three biggest mistakes that even smart business owners and salespeople make that keep sales stagnant and profits paralyzed. But more importantly, I'm going to help you to avoid those mistakes by giving you some practical, easy to implement strategies that you can put in place straight away to help you to start and build your pipeline and fill it with those ideal clients that you love working with. And, you know, one of the things that I find with business owners in particular who I've been talking to over many, many years is that they are passionate about what they do and they're expert in what they do. So we've got accountants, we've got expert lawyers, we've got social media experts, haulage experts, people in manufacturing. And many times these people have to study for years to learn the steps to become that expert. But it doesn't matter what business you're in. You have to be in the business of sales and marketing. You have to be in the business of knowing how to prospect to bring in enough clients on a consistent basis so that you don't have to worry about the peaks and troughs of cash flow and worry about how you're going to find the money to pay your employees or maybe to service a loan or whatever your outgoings are. And because if you don't, and you have these peaks and troughs of cash flow, you will be frustrated and stressed and be desperate to bring in more clients. And you know those situations where you've got a few clients in your pipeline and you're desperate to get them over the line, and these prospective clients know that you're desperate because your mind moves to the most dominant thought and your actions follow. And so this desperation comes over. So learning, these steps that you will learn in this training are essential to the success of your business and the success for you and your well-being and your feel-good factor. But there is another element to this, and that is that it is your duty to give as many people as you possibly can the opportunity to benefit from your product or service, the opportunity to solve their problems, or the opportunity to help them to achieve their objectives. But you must do it by getting the right message out to the right people in the right way so that you are filling your pipeline with clients that you love working with, those who value what you do, who pay you promptly, who will recommend you to others, who will give you repeat business, and it's a joy for you to work with them. And these steps will help you towards that. Now, I will also, at the end of the webinar, give you an opportunity to work with me if you want to. There is no obligation, but I will give you the opportunity to do that. But also hang on to the end because I am going to give you these these mistakes in reverse order, 3, 2, 1. And mistake number 1, I'm going to share with you a strategy that will transform your business. It will transform your life beyond your expectations. So make sure you've got your pen and paper. Make sure you've got a drink. Watch through to the end. If you want to work with me further, fine. I'd love you to do that. If not, the steps in this training will help you to transform your business as long as you implement. And you need to be implementing on a consistent basis to make sure that pipeline is filled consistently. So enjoy, and hopefully I'll see you on the other side. Bye for now. Hi there, this is Dilys Gayan, and welcome to Rapidly Fill Your Pipeline with Red Hot Leads. But before we start, I want you to imagine having prospective clients coming to you because you are seen as the trusted expert, a diary full of appointments with people that you love doing business with, and that you're in a position to win more contracts with bigger businesses without discounting your prices. And of course, at the same time, making more money than you've ever made before, giving you the freedom, that confidence, the satisfaction, and that falling back in love with your business again in the way that you did when you very first started. And what you're going to learn in this masterclass is the top 3 mistakes that even smart B2B business owners and salespeople make that keep sales stagnant and profits paralyzed. And I'm going to show you how to avoid these costly mistakes and give you some easy to follow practical strategies that you can use immediately to magnetize more of your ideal clients. But make sure that you listen right to the end, because mistake number 1 will help you attract more of your ideal clients into your business from this day forward. And in our short time together, I'm going to give you my best information. I'm going to hold nothing back. And we're going to take a deeper dive in how to fill your pipeline and be in a position where you are confident that you will have business coming in week after week, month after month. Because when the pipeline is full, it will come out of the other end. When there's nothing in the pipeline, you start and get into that position where you feel anxious and stressed and worried and desperate. And that will come over to your prospective clients. So I just want to talk to you for a couple of minutes about how the landscape is changing, your customers are changing, and the economy is unlikely to go back to where it was before the recession. And your customers are much more discerning, much more demanding, and they want much more for their money. They can go to your website and look at your products and services, but they want someone who will bring insights and who will add value to their business. And the landscape has absolutely changed, and therefore it is time for you to raise the bar. And you must raise your bar, because the competition will, and if you don't, you will be left behind. So if your phones are no longer ringing or not ringing as much as they used to, or customers are not responding to your marketing efforts, or maybe you're finding that you're having to discount your prices to beat the competition, or it may be that you just want to move your business up a level, then you are absolutely in the right place. And I want today to inspire you and give you the tools. So it's not just about the tools, it's about giving you this inspiration and giving you the motivation to implement. Because can you imagine how easy your life would be if you had clients seeking you out? And if you want bigger and better results, then it's no good doing the same thing over and over. You must do something different. And the key is to learn and implement, but to learn how to strategically implement. And before we really get into the meat of things, I would just like to ask if I may take a few minutes just to share my background with you, so you have context of who I am and why I might be worth listening to for the rest of this masterclass. Well, my career started, in fact, in the bank as a junior bank clerk, and then I left after a number of years and had my children, and then went back into the bank on a part-time basis and was invited to become a financial advisor in the financial services arm of the bank. And that was how I started. And 9 months after that, I was promoted to field sales manager, and 5 years later, promoted to regional director, where I was managing 70 advisors, 7 field sales managers, and was responsible for all of the bank branch financial services targets that were in my region. And I loved it. I loved it from day one. I absolutely loved it. I was like an evangelist, getting out there and getting a safety net, a financial safety net in place for my clients, my individuals, families, and businesses. And as a regional director, as a region, we were always in the top 5%. And in 1999, we went to the conference. We were top in the country, and we won everything across the board. Recruitment targets, financial targets, compliance targets, everything. We were absolutely riding high. In fact, people were even moving house to come and work in our region. It was that good, and it had that good a reputation. And that was in the January. We were at the conference in 1999. And in the May, the bottom literally fell out of my world. My world fell apart. And my boss, who'd been my boss for 7 years, out of the blue, started this horrendous bullying campaign. And to cut a long story short, I tried to fix it and I couldn't. And I thought, right, you've got two choices here. You either shut up and put up, or you leave. And in my wisdom as a single parent, I decided to leave and set up my own business as a sales and marketing consultant. And I left all the trappings of the corporate world with my secretaries and company car and everything that went with it, and went literally from boardroom to bedroom. And I'm not going to pretend that it was all plain sailing, because there were many, many days when I had my head in my arms crying. I was devastated, actually. And just excuse me 1 second. I missed the people, and it was an awful time. But there was this other voice in my head that was saying, Denise, you can do this and you will do this, because you have children who you need to keep a roof over their head, and by paying the mortgage and paying all of the other bills to keep our heads above water. And it was that drove me on. It was having that purpose that drove me on. And I sat down and worked out who I wanted to work with, because I knew I had to work with people and companies who could pay and would pay. So I made a list of financial services companies in the blue chip market, because that was who I decided I was going to work with. And I literally used Yellow Pages and the telephone. And that was how I started. And I got my first contract in the first month. And I made, in 18 years ago I made 6 figures in that year. And I worked with Barclays, Barclaycard, Norwich Union, Aviva now, Royal Mail, Parcelforce, Thornton's Chocolates, Chartered Institute of Marketing asked me to be a course director for them. And I've worked for companies around the world. So I traveled for many, many years. And about 5 years ago, I thought, I've got to change my business model here, because I'm shattered with the traveling. I think I'm 27, but I'm clearly not 27. And so I decided to bring my skills and knowledge to the SME market. So businesses who are selling to bigger businesses, but haven't got a sales and marketing department or training department to help them with the sales effort. And so I have been offering them workshops. I have private coaching clients. I still go in company and do work. And I have online programs now, which I will talk to you about at the end of this masterclass. So that was 18 years ago. And over those years, I've seen the behaviors of buyers change. I've seen technology evolve. And I have had to change my behaviors to meet those changing demands. And so it's really critical that you look at strategy improvement, because you can no longer use the methods that were successful even 5 years ago. And you cannot rely merely on word of mouth or social media. Oh my goodness, I hear this so often. I just was talking to a lady last week, and she said, I asked her how she was getting her business at the moment. And she said, word of mouth and social media. But, you know, I've got quite a few things in the offing in my pipeline, but nothing's coming through. And it's because she's got so little in a pipeline. You must be actively filling your pipeline with potential clients that are going to come to clients. But you've got to get them in there. You've got to get appointments in your diary to be able to go and see people, to convert them from someone who's interested into a paying client. And if you are going to be successful, you must become the invited guest and not the unwelcome pest. And I would like to ask you to be prepared to learn, because I'm going to challenge you with some new ideas, and there may be other ideas that you have already heard or seen before. However, I want you to be open-minded and really think about what I'm going to share, because these strategies are based on principles that transcend any and all businesses. I promise you that from my 18 years of working out there with businesses, there isn't any type of business that these strategies don't work for. So I really don't want you to be sitting thinking, oh, this is all very well, Dilys, but this won't work for me. I promise you it will. So let's get going, and I'm going to share the 3 biggest mistakes that even smart business owners and salespeople make that keep sales stagnant and profits paralyzed. And I'm going to share these in reverse order: mistake 3, 2, 1. So let's look at mistake number 3, and that is that the business owners and salespeople will give up too soon. And what I mean by this is that many businesses will send out one piece of marketing material or make one phone call, get no response, and give up. And if you give up too soon, you will become the victim of burnout and you will dread the next working day. And the biggest reason people give up too soon is often what you perceive as a no is really no, not right now, not no forever. And as Brian Tracy says, sometimes your greatest asset is simply your ability to stay with it longer than anyone else. So I'd just like to give you my personal experience, and then I'll give you some statistics that back this up in terms of giving up too soon and how detrimental that can be and how important it is to have a strategy. So my personal experience was many years ago. In fact, I had an email from a guy in America inviting me to his marketing conference in Orlando. And I read the email, and actually it was a really good email. The subject line prompted me to open it, and the content of it was very good. However, I deleted, because, you know, would you go to America on the basis of one email? And I certainly didn't, and deleted. But what followed was another email, which again I opened, and the content grabbed my attention and raised my interest, but I still deleted. Then I got a direct mail piece, a letter, which of course is nearly rare as rocking horse droppings now, because we don't get that much direct mail. This was followed by a postcard addressed specifically to me, personally to me, and then I got a telephone call. And on that telephone call, I said yes. And I ended up, my husband and I both went. We paid for flights for both of us, hotel costs and all of the associated costs for both of us, and went to this conference in Orlando. Now, the purpose of me sharing this story with you is that I wouldn't have made the decision on the first, second, or even the third contact, as interesting as it was, as much as it raised my interest and had me metaphorically stepping forward and thinking I'm more and more interested. It wasn't until that 5th contact, it wasn't until the phone call that I made the decision to say yes. So that's my personal experience. And then I came across these statistics from the National Sales Executive Association. And what they said was that 48% of people never follow up with a prospective client. My goodness me, that is quite a shocking statistic. But in fact, from my experience again, I have seen this to be true. 25% of people never make a second contact, and 12% of people only make a maximum of 3 contacts and stop. And 10% of businesses make no more than 3 contacts. What this research also showed was that 2% of sales are made on the first contact, and 80% of sales are made on between the 5th to 12th contact. So if you are only making contact with your prospects once, then you are potentially leaving 98% of business on the table for your competition to pick up. So my question to you is, how many prospective clients are you losing just because you give up too soon? So here's what to do. Create a multiple contact strategy and include both online and offline activities. And they could include direct mail, either letters or postcards, online email, telephone calls, and other online activities like social media, for example. And I'm just going to go back a step here because I want to share a really neat little strategy with you that I implement all the time, actually. And it's a lovely online and offline strategy. So I will make a contact on social media and invite my ideal clients to connect with me. I will then send a thank you for connecting message, and then I will send a free resource. And I have 2 free resources. One is 21 surefire ways to find your ideal client. The other one is how to find clients who can afford your prices. I send that, then I send them an email, followed by a letter, followed by a phone call. And these are all in quick succession. And what this does, it disrupts people's time, it disrupts their thinking and makes them take notice. And of course, the content of these have to be relevant and have people open, listen and respond, which is going to be what we're going to talk about next in mistake number 2. But that is a really great little strategy that's worked for me over and over and over again. But I cannot stress, please pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. You know, you can do your social media, you can go networking and make contacts and so on, but you need to follow up and finally pick up the phone. So vary your methods of follow-up and highlight different benefits. So you wouldn't say the same thing if you're sending a number of emails, for example. You would vary the different benefits and decide on who, how, and implement consistently. It's this that will help you fill your pipeline. So please decide on who, how, and implement consistently. Create a habit every day of prospecting, and it will transform your business. It will transform who you are as a person. It will transform your confidence levels. So I will leave you with that thought. I hope you're taking plenty of notes, and I hope you are committing to doing this on a consistent basis. So on to mistake number 2, and that is no customer focus. And what I mean is when businesses are trying to attract new customers, their message is often either focused on the features of their product, or it's all about me or all about my company. And I've taken these examples from websites. So here's the first one. We are solicitors who've been in business for 25 years. Well, who cares? You could have been treading water, just keeping your head above water, and be very mediocre. Now, if you've said we are solicitors who've been in business for 25 years and then added, which means that, we can guide you through and help you avoid the pitfalls of X, Y, and Z, then that makes a difference because you're then becoming focused on the customer. Here's another one. We specialize in visioning, team building, strategy development. Who cares? Who do you know that has a concern about their team and having conflict in their team and so on, having a worry on and thinking, I know what we need is some visioning. They might think they need some team building, but they will rarely think, oh, we need some strategy development. And these are all solution. These are all product related things. And this is where you lose your prospective clients. Here's my favorite. We are a financial services company who deliver a responsive service, supply you with commercially sound, proactive advice, and build long-term relationships and provide value for money. That is just going to get deleted. Whoever thinks in that way, I need a responsive service and I need somebody who will supply me with commercially sound, proactive advice. Nobody, I promise you, nobody. What your customers want. Your customers don't want to spend money on your product or service. What they want is the results that your product or service will bring. They want their problems solved. And, I can share my own example, as I referred to earlier on. What my customers wanted when I was a financial advisor was a financial safety net that would replace their income if it stopped for whatever reason. They didn't want a pension policy or a life assurance policy or an income protection policy. They wanted the income replaced if it stopped. They wanted something that would allow them to pay their bills and all of their financial commitments. So in review, if your message is focused on you or your company and your product or service, then your potential client won't read it, listen to it, or buy it. Your marketing messages must answer the questions that are bothering them. So your marketing messages must be received, and that recipient must look at them, read them, listen to them, and think, good heavens, you're a mind reader, because that's exactly what I was thinking. And that's what makes the difference. So let's look at how to apply this concept. So first of all, step one, make a list of the problems your clients might be experiencing now or could experience in the future without your product or service. Then take those problems and write down the impact it's having on them and their business and the ripple effect across their business. And really dig deep and do a good job with this, because this actually is the foundation of not just your marketing, but it's the foundation of preparing your questions when you have your face-to-face meeting. And step two is address your clients' problems in all of your marketing efforts. And you will write your marketing in this way, these 4 elements of attention, interest, desire, and action. So first of all, you must grab their attention. And of course, if you're sending an email, then you must have a strong subject line that will have them open that email. So grab their attention, which has them, prompts them to read or listen to you. And then raise their interest. I call this lighting their fire. Raise their interest with the problems that you can solve. And then create the desire as to why they should do anything about what you do, anything about what you are offering. And then at the end, you must always have a call to action. What should I do now? So tell them what to do now. Excuse me 1 second. They either email you or call you or go to a link. Whatever it is, you have to directly tell people what to do. So you've got those 4 elements: attention, interest, desire, action. And then you talk to prospects in terms of the problems you can solve, meet their objectives, enhance their lives, and help them to prevent pain. So change your focus. Change your focus from you and become totally customer focused. Dump the feature selling and start solution selling and become the trusted advisor. So let's just do a recap on how to attract clients now and fill your pipeline. First of all, don't give up too soon. And remember, 80% of sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contact. And all of your marketing messages should be customer focused. And when I'm working with clients and I hear them talking about product, I say to them, you're paying too soon. You are product dumping too soon. You are talking about your product too soon. You do not talk about your product until you've met with the customer, and at the end of your discovery session with them, then you talk about your product, then you put your solution in place. Because if you talk product too soon, particularly in your marketing or in your phone call, you will end up in a price war. And this is something I talk about in much more detail in my Magnetic Marketing Map program, which I will again talk to you about later. So let's have a look at mistake number 1. No marketing strategy, all tactics. So let's just be clear about what I'm talking about here. So marketing is lead generation. It's attracting more of your ideal clients with messages that resonate with them, as opposed to sales where purchase is made and the money is exchanged. Strategy is a method or a plan chosen to bring about a desired future result. The strategy is the what. That is your plan. The tactics are tasks like blogging, social media, making phone calls, placing ads, sending emails, and the plethora of opportunities that you have in terms of activities that you can put in place. And the tactics are the how. And it's really important to find that right strategy, because the right strategy makes any tactic work better. The right strategy puts less pressure on executing your tactics perfectly, said Seth Godin. And without a strategy, your tactics will just be a lot of random activity without purpose. So all of the how will fail without the right what. Your strategy is critical to your success. And why is this so important? Because if you don't have a strategy and you're just involved in tactics, you will get lost in the noise that's out there. You will become poor and feel a failure. You will be overwhelmed and feel dejected. It will degrade the energy and enthusiasm you have for your business. Remember when you first started and how excited you were and the vision you had for yourselves, and that feeling of excitement. It will degrade all of that if you don't have a strategy in place and you're just involved in random tactics. But worse, you will suffer from the peaks and troughs of cash flow. And sadly, it's not just suffering from the peaks and troughs of cash flow and having the worry of, gosh, I've got to pay my bank loan, I've got to pay the payroll. 80% of business failures, or 80% of businesses fail down to poor cash flow. And I just want to share this with you in terms of prospects that you may be ignoring. So this is research that was done by a guy called Chet Holmes. And what he identified, that out of 100 of your ideal prospective clients, only 3% are actively looking to buy. And of course, those 3% will be looking around and they will be checking out prices and so on. So when you are in touch with these kind of people, you very often find that you're in a price war because they are actively looking. At the bottom of that triangle in red, you've got 30% who know they're not interested. It's highly unlikely that they're going to buy. that's not to say that they couldn't change their mind, but generally what Chetholm found was that they know they're not interested and they're not in your target market, or should I say, the demand in your target market. So if we go back up to the top, that 7% in green are open to buying, but not looking. So for example, you could have a lady who's pregnant and she drives a sports car. And let's say she's 3 months pregnant, but she doesn't want to get rid of her car yet. But she knows when she has the baby, she has to get rid of the car because she can't put baby on parcel shelf. So open to buying, but not looking. Then you've got 30% who are not thinking about it. And this could be someone who has got a printing machine and it keeps jamming and they keep running out of ink. And they know that it's a problem, but they're so busy doing everything else, they're actually not thinking about it. They're putting up with the time that's wasted with people standing at this printing machine with paper jamming and then having to buy printer ink and the cost of the printer ink, and it's always having to be changed, but not thinking about it. Then you've got 30% in that purple bracket who don't think they're interested. And I've got a really great example of this, and that's my husband, who used to be in the Marines, and he suffered from noise-induced hearing loss. And over the years, it's got worse and worse. And we've had to have the subtitles on the television, and we've had to have the sound up to like 48 or 50, the 48 to 50 level. And one day in the Sunday newspapers was this leaflet for TV ears. And this is like a contraption that goes into your ears, and it has a box that sits under your chin, and it's a wireless device that picks up the sound. Now, so we can have the sound off if we need to, and he can hear it through his TV ears, or he can have it to the level he wants, but I can have it at the level I want on the television. But he didn't even know that there were TV ears. He didn't even think he was interested because he didn't know about it, and he didn't know about the benefits that these TV ears could bring him. So what I'm saying here is that you need to be prospecting to these people who you think may not be open or not thinking about it or don't think they're interested. And that is a bracket of 67%. So 67% of your 100 ideal clients you may think are not, or that you may be ignoring. So it's important that you have a multiple contact strategy, and that you have a clear strategy in place as to how you are going to get the word out about your product or service. And this is about multiple contact. It's about having the right content in your activities, whether it be email, your phone call, whatever it is. So the strategy is critically important, because you could be missing 67% of your prospective clients. And every business has to be in the business of strategic sales and marketing. It doesn't matter what your business is, whether it's accountancy, solicitor, manufacturing, digital marketing, whether it's mergers and acquisitions. It does not matter whether you're a social media expert. You must be in the business of strategic sales and marketing to allow you to grow your business and to live your life stress-free. And this basic strategy includes, and actually, if I just go back a second, I think I mentioned to you before, but I'm going to mention it again because it's so critically important. You are an expert in what you do, and you had to learn somewhere at the beginning how to do it. You had to learn the steps to do it. But you will never be successful unless you also learn the steps of sales and marketing to allow you to bring in new customers. So your basic strategy includes a clear written plan for your business. And please make sure that it's written down. Harvard Business School did some research and followed up on students who had been to the school, and there were only 3% of those who had, of the people they researched, had a written plan. But that 3% earned more than the other 97% collectively. So it's really beneficial and important that you have it written down. It also gives you clarity of moving forward because you know exactly what you're going to do. And then define and research your ideal clients. Who is it that you want to do business with? Look at who you've done business with so far and take out your best ones and work out the commonalities between all of your best clients, and then find more of them and create your dream list. You cannot sell your product or service to everybody. You cannot, because otherwise you will wear yourself out, and also your messages will be so generic it won't land with anyone. When you know who your ideal client is, you can get in their shoes, work out the problems, the impact of those problems, and the benefits of doing business with you. Create compelling marketing messages like the ones we talked about earlier, where you grab their attention, you raise their interest, and you, with the problems that you can solve, you create desire by citing a success story or a case study, and then a call to action. And these 4 elements must be in all of your marketing messages. And then create that multiple marketing strategy where you are touching metaphorically the people on multiple times, because as I said, only 2% of people buy on first contact. So create a multiple marketing strategy using both online and offline. And then track and measure your results. It's no good keep doing things if you don't know what's working and what's not. Often people say to me, yeah, we're busy marketing, we don't really know which bit works. You need to know which bit works so you can do more of it and stop doing the stuff that doesn't work. So track and measure your results. And then create a positive mindset to become one of the top 20% of successful people. This is about a can-do attitude. This is about being in a position where when obstacles come your way, you're prepared to overcome them. And you're not going to sit back and go, I can't because, and get into that negative mindset that paralyzes you into inaction. And earlier I said to you about, I want to inspire you and give you the tools. The tools on their own are not enough. And working with me, I give you that inspiration. I help you with the motivation. I help you to overcome the problems that will, and I promise you, you will have challenges and problems in your business when you're trying to bring in new clients. Because if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it with ease. And I want to work with you to help you create that positive mindset, to help you with that, implement that strategy. And a change has happened. Something that worked 5 years ago no longer works today. And many business owners and salespeople make learning about sales and marketing a low priority, despite the fact that it's absolutely essential that you learn the steps of sales marketing to bring in clients and fill your pipeline. And I come across a lot of prospective clients who will say to me, or even colleagues and so on, who say, I don't have time. And I want to tell you a story about a man who was cutting down a branch in a tree. And his neighbour went past and he said, hi there, what are you doing up the tree? He said, I'm trying to cut this branch down. He said, because it's casting a shadow across my kitchen window. He said, oh, good luck, mate. The neighbour goes on down the street, but he comes back 2 hours later. And he said, what on earth are you still doing up that tree? He said, I'm still trying to cut this flipping branch down, but my saw's blunt. He said, well, why don't you get down and sharpen it? He said, I haven't got time. And isn't this what we sometimes do? That we don't take time to sharpen our skills to make things easier in the future. And there are still many businesses that are thriving, but many people struggle to make their business work, just like my dad. So let me tell you about my dad. This is a picture of him when he was 25. He'd been demobbed from the army, and I believe this is his demob coat. And my dad went bankrupt when I was 16. Now, he was a brilliant electrical engineer, really, really brilliant at what he did. But unfortunately, he wasn't really, really brilliant at bringing in new clients. And he went through the peaks and troughs of cash flow, worrying about paying his monthly payment back to the bank, paying his payroll. And eventually, in fact, before the bank foreclosed, he had allowed the bank to put a second charge on the house, and then they declared him bankrupt, and he lost everything. The official receivers came in and they itemized everything in our house. We had this lovely house that looked from in the northeast, and we overlooked Durham. We had a 30-mile view across to Durham. It was lovely. But everything was valued, including the house, including his vehicles, everything. And the official receivers actually were very kind to my mother and said, if you can borrow X amount of pounds, you can buy some of your things back, which is what she did. And we had to leave that house and go into a council house. Now, there's nothing wrong with a council house at all, but there is when you don't want to leave. And we were all devastated that this had happened. And unfortunately, my dad, who was a drinker anyway, the stress just took him over the edge, and his behavior was unacceptable. And we had to, I tell this story often, and it still grabs me every time I tell it. It takes me back to that place. Anyway, where was I? Yes, so his behavior was so bad, we ended up going to the council house without him. And sadly, he ended up in my grandfather's garden shed for a week, and then a caravan for 3 years. And then him and my mother got back together, and then he died in his sleep at 52. And it was all down to the stress and, of course, the drink. And he was smoking like a chimney. And it wasn't really until I got older that I realized the stress that he must have gone through of losing a house, losing his business, losing his vehicles, his employees lost their jobs. And, these are the consequences of not evening out your cash flow by having a full pipeline, having clients coming in, week out, month in, month out, so that you can actually predict more or less what your income is going to be. And, this is absolutely tragic. It's absolutely tragic, but totally avoidable. And if only he had learned the steps of bringing in clients, learned the steps of sales and marketing. So imagine if you have learned those steps and you've got a strategy in place, and you then become the go-to person in your field, that trusted expert, because you're out there, you're getting a name for yourself. People are recommending you. People are relating to what you do, and you've created with your marketing, with your multiple marketing strategy, you are creating top of mind thinking with people, so that even though they may not want to buy from you straight away, with your multiple touches, you create that top of mind and they come to you. when they're looking for your product or service. So can you imagine what this would mean and the impact it would have on your business? You know, you would have more profit. You could invest more money into your business. You could expand. Maybe that actually you want to sell it and you want to get a better price for it. And of course, the more clients you've got, the more profit you're showing, the more valuable your business will be. But the most important thing is that it will give you peace of mind. It will give you that sense of achievement. It will allow you to take time off and go and have holidays with your family and so on. My dad never took a holiday. He worked his socks off and still he lost it all. But by putting that strategy in place and learning the steps to be able to put that effective strategy in place would give you the business that you wanted when you very first started. And it would allow you to attract the kind of clients that you want to work with. You don't want to be working with tire kickers and picking up the scraps and having to give discount and working with clients that you don't love. Having this strategy, this strategic approach to bringing in clients allows you to work with people that you love doing business with, people who value you, people who pay you on time, people who give you referrals, people who, you know, don't want discounts. You'd be attracting the kind of clients that you want to work with, giving you the financial freedom that you've always wanted for you and your family. And I want to ask you, to what degree do you truly know who your ideal client is? On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that your marketing messages are magnetic compared to messages that are getting lost in the noise that's out there? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that you have the right strategy and are implementing the right tactics for your business? And I hope you've got a pad and paper and you can write this down and give yourself a score. And, you know, these are big challenges that most people have. So you absolutely are not alone. And that's why I have worked on a solution to make sure that you never struggle with them again. And I've created a program called the Magnetic Marketing Map, which is what I referred to earlier on. And the Magnetic Marketing Map is a 6-module online program. And working through this, you'll be more effective at attracting clients than 90% of business owners out there. You would be positioned as the expert and the trusted advisor, the go-to supplier, positioned to win more contracts with bigger businesses without discounting. So let me just go through these 6 online modules, which of course you can dip in and out of. So module 1 is about mastering your mindset. Can you remember when I went through that strategy at the end, I said about mastering your mindset? This really is so critical. And I want to, in this module, recreate the secrets of the super successful people. And I will demystify the secrets behind what makes some people more successful than others, so that you can do the right things and stop doing some of the wrong things, and think the right things and not think some of the wrong things. Module 2 is all about beginning with the end in mind. And every successful business owner I have ever met knew the numbers. And in this module, you will define your personal goals for your business and have clarity around the activities required to hit those goals. And you will have them written down so that you can refer to them. Because if you don't know where you are going, how on earth will you know when you've got there? Module 3, mastering your numbers. This is the second numbers piece in this program. And you will discover how to make the sales and marketing numbers work for you. You can use your numbers to help you develop your business. You can use your numbers and your activity to be able to find more of the people who you're successful with. You'll be able to know where you are strong and where improvements need to be made to develop and grow your business. Module 4, mastering your niche and offer. And we're going to take a deep dive into profiling your ideal client so that you'll always be working with those who value your product or service, pay promptly, and happily give repeat and referral business. And I just want to give you a quick story about my daughter and son-in-law. Now, this is not B2B, but the principles are the same. In that when they sat and profiled, they were struggling. And when they sat and profiled their ideal client and looked at the commonalities and got into their shoes and then went to find more of those ideal clients and sent marketing messages that were relevant to these ideal clients, their business had an upturn of 70%. It nearly doubled. It was amazing. The difference that this makes when you're working with those who value your product and service, pay promptly, and happily give repeat and referral business. That's module 4. Module 5 would be looking at mastering your message. So you will create marketing messages that will resonate with what is going on in the heads of your prospective clients and have them say, yes, that's me. I need to know more. In module 6, we're going to be mastering your media. So how are you going to make contact and how often? And the trick is to expose yourself, metaphorically speaking, of course, so that your prospective clients seek you out because you've positioned yourself as the expert. And we'll take a deep dive into this to allow you to put a map together, if you like, your activity map of who you are going to make contact with, how you're going to make contact and how often. So let's recap. Module 1, mastering your mindset. Module 2, beginning with the end in mind and setting your goals. And module 3, mastering your numbers, not just for the sake of mastering numbers, but to enable you to develop your business from those numbers and to be able to grow your business effortlessly. Module 4, mastering your niche and your offer. That's your ideal client. And then number 5, mastering your message, creating those messages that resonate. And number 6, mastering your media. What activities are you going to get involved in? What are your tactics going to be? So that's a recap. And I'd love you to come and join us. Please just go to www.dilysguyan.com/MMM, which stands for Magnetic Marketing Map. I got my M's mixed up there. So that's dilysguyan.com/MMM. Please come and join us. And because this will give you a deep and lasting transformation. It's 6 online modules to watch and listen at your own pace in the comfort of your own home or office. And the thing is, you will have recordings of these modules to refer to forever. I don't even mind if you share these with a colleague in your business and you can work through and strategize together. You will have the complete A to Z blueprint to fill your pipeline with clients that you love working with. And that's not all. There's more. I'm going to set up, it's set up. I will invite you to join our private Facebook group. And this group is brilliant. You can collaborate, you can ask for support, you can post your wins, you can ask questions, but more importantly, it will help you with your motivation and you will be inspired to do more, but you will also become known for what you do. And there have been some fantastic collaborations within the group where people have done business with each other or they've set up as a partnership offering in some aspects of their offering. So private Facebook group, completely free. You will also choose an accountability buddy within the group. And this is just someone who you will, sorry, let me just go back, who you will choose, or if you can't choose, I'll help you to choose someone in the group who together you can contact each other on a daily or a weekly or a fortnightly or a monthly basis, whatever is right for you and your buddy, really just to say, here's what I'm going to do. And then the next time you speak, you can say, this is what I have done, this is where I've struggled, and this is where I need to improve. Now, you can spend as much or as little time in this conversation, but it's that person that makes the difference. I am so committed not to just giving you the steps, but to help you to implement, to help you when you're stuck, to help you overcome those challenges. And this is why the Facebook group is so good for asking questions. But there's more, so please stick with me because there's a lot more to come. And I just want to share with you a couple of success stories, really. And this is Wayne Baster, who's the post office customer in the Post Office Customer Management Centre. He was the manager there. And I did some work for him, and he wrote to me, and part of what he said was, I thought I would write to explain how my team is performing this year after the initial program with you. We are on target to double our revenue this year. This is following a year where we increased sales by 50%. So they increased by 50, and then working with me, they doubled them again. And the difference that it made to those people individually, just feel having that success and hitting those big targets, the confidence was exuding from them. This is Peter Burton. He's the former CEO at Thornton's Chocolates. And what he said was, Dilys was instrumental in our shops growing their external sales with other businesses. So that's B2B sales. Our managers found her sales training program to be both effective and inspirational. Her straightforward and easy to understand approach gave our colleagues ideas and strategies which they could immediately turn into action. But more than anything, it created a belief and a can-do attitude amongst our managers. As a result of Dilys's programs, our external sales grew from 225,000 to well over 1.1 million in 12 months. Now, the bit I really want to draw your attention to is that last paragraph, but more than anything, it created a belief and a can-do attitude amongst our managers. And that's what I want to do for you. It's not just the steps. I want to inject this inspiration, this motivation for you to keep implementing and to overcome challenges when they come your way. So this program, it will give you a deep and lasting transformation. It will completely change your thinking, your actions, and your belief in yourself. This is a program which is different to any other training you will come across, and here's why. You will have the content, you will have the tools, you will have the support to give deep and lasting transformation. This isn't just like, here's the steps, now go away and implement. There's going to be the stuff in the background that will support you. You will have the collaboration of like-minded people, and you will overcome any personal blocks that stop you from progressing. And I will give you the confidence to implement everything that you learn, turning the seemingly impossible into the possible. And at the end of this 6-module program, you will have created your own ideal client profile. You will be attracting the kind of clients you want and not be spending time with tire kickers and time wasters. You will have created your personal marketing plan that's the right fit for your business. You will discover the details of how to implement the 21 most successful marketing activities that are available. Then you choose. You choose what's right for you. You will be able to write content which can be repurposed for all of your marketing going forward. You will have interested prospects seeking you out. You'll be able to identify all of the opportunities from your tracking and monitoring form to develop and grow your business to a higher level. You will have the competitive edge in your marketplace and never have to overcome those dreaded objections about the competition. You will be positioned as the trusted advisor. You will be more productive, more positive, and more successful than you ever thought possible. And you'll be hitting targets month after month after month and become a member of the top 20% of sellers. And you will grow your business beyond your expectations and live your life in a state of abundance and stress-free. And this 6-module program, it reaches all types of learners, and there will be Q&A sessions and no one will be left behind. So let's talk about the investment, because I'm sure that's what you're interested in. In the marketplace, you could go out and find 1 or 2 or maybe 5-day training courses where you could pay up to £1,500 per day. You could, in fact, get the same tuition from me privately for £5,000. But the investment for the Magnetic Marketing Map is only £997. And these 6 modules will give you easy to follow steps which you can listen to in the comfort of your own home, private Facebook group for collaboration and support, and accountability with your rules. And I will be walking with you every step of the way. It's proven, it's strong, it works. It worked for me and it's worked for all of my clients. I've got private coaching clients, I've got people who come on my workshops, and the results are astounding for those who implement. So I'm not going to say they're astounding for everybody, because they aren't. Some people don't implement, and that is the key. And this is the first time this year that I'm bringing it to small business owners and salespeople in this format, online in this way. And I want to make it as easy as possible for you to say yes. And I'm going to do something very special for you, because you are on my subscriber list. You are someone who has already taken action, and I want to give you this program for only $497. $497. It's an absolute gift. Anyway, I'm getting too excited and I need to calm myself down. So reserve your place now on the Magnetic Marketing Map program. The regular price is $997, but apply now for these savings. Just one payment of just $497. So please come and join us. DilysGuyan.com MMM. DilysGuyan.com MMM. Now, there's more. I am going to give you as a bonus 6 monthly laser-focused group Q&A calls to answer any and all questions that you have, and you will never, ever be stuck. I will be walking every step of the way with you so that you get it done. And you're going to have 6 of these. So, 147, you're getting the 6 modules online, but you're also going to get 6 months of calls with me personally, the group calls, and the value of this, in fact, is £1,200. Bonus 2, I'm going to give you the Secret Success Buster. This is where you will discover the secret sauce that will change your thinking and your behavior and the way you deal with challenges forever. These secrets will propel you forward even when you feel completely stuck. This is valued at £100. And bonus 3, I'm going to give you the magical templates. You will receive templates, examples of completed templates, scripts and frameworks, process sheets, everything you will need to attract all the clients you ever dreamed of. You will never have to start from scratch whenever you start a new marketing campaign. And this in itself is again valued at £100. So let's recap. You're going to get the Magnetic Marketing Map, 6 modules, with a regular price of $997. 6 monthly group Get It Done live calls with me, valued at $1,200. The Secret Success Buster, valued at $100. And bonus 3, the magical templates, valued at $100, which gives you a total value of £1,897. But for you today, only £497. So please don't leave your success to chance. If you don't come and sign up with me, please go and find someone else to learn the steps from. I don't think you'll find anything that is as robust as this, that gives you the support as well as the steps. But please don't leave your success to chance. Join us today and enjoy your life of abundance, confidence, enthusiasm, and start to love your business like you did when you first started. And I am totally committed to your transformation. I will do whatever it takes to help you create a business beyond your expectations. Can you remember when I said I was like an evangelist in financial services, and I was like an evangelist when I was out there working with the big corporates? I am, if I can be, even more of an evangelist for SMEs and their salespeople who don't have these internal sales and marketing departments to help them. And I really mean it when I say I'm totally committed to your transformation, because if I can save one person going through what my dad did and what we did as a family, then I will have made some sort of impact. But I want to help thousands of people, not just one. So please copy the link, and you can get access to the program immediately when you sign up, and just go through to PayPal and make your payment of $497. And I will see you on the other side. So before you go, you might still be thinking, oh, I'm not sure whether I want to. $497. I'm not sure. If you haven't got $497, then you need this program. If you cannot commit to $497, all of the steps of the program and all of the support that you're going to get, you need this program. And not that I want you to get into debt, but it may be that you think, well, I put $497 on a credit card and I'll pay it off over a period of time. Because you will be able to pay that back very, very quickly, because you will start to get clients very, very quickly. But just work this out. How much is a new client worth to you? 500,000, 10,000, 20,000 or more? And how many new clients would you need to cover your investment of $497? You couldn't even hire marketing support or an admin assistant for a month for $497. So please go to the page www.dilysguyan.com/MMM, because I want you to imagine your business 1 year from today. Imagine that you have got working with clients that you love working with, but you've got them coming to you on a regular basis, that you get up in the morning and you're desperate to get to work because it's another exciting day where another prospective client can benefit from your product or service, and you are helping them solve their problems and help put them in a better place. And imagine the satisfaction that you will get from that, and the income that you will have to be able to share with your family or spend on whatever it is you want to spend it on. But it's not just the material things. It really isn't. It's this internal feeling of satisfaction and the internal feeling of the number of people that you have been able to help with your product or service. Now, I'm so committed and I stand so solidly behind my work that I want to make it totally risk-free for you. So secure your place right now, participate fully and implement the marketing strategies. And if they don't work, I will give you 100% of your money back. Within a year, I will give you your money back if you can show me that you have implemented. That's how confident I am in this program. Now, you may not choose to join the Magnetic Marketing Map, but this is an opportunity to take your business to levels beyond your expectations if you do. And like I said before, you may not choose to join me, but please go and find someone that will help you take your business to levels beyond your expectation. I've been in sales and marketing for 29 years. And the magnetic marketing map will help you like no other program that I've seen. And let me tell you, I have seen many in my time. Please don't struggle. Join me and we'll do it together. I would indeed be incredibly honoured that you made the decision to come and work with me. And I want to leave you with a quote from Nelson Mandela. And what he said is, vision without action is only a dream. Action without vision merely passes time. Vision with action can change the world. And what he's saying here is you can have all of the dreams you like, but if you don't put things into action and have your strategic plan and the activities and you implement consistently, then you are dreaming. But if all you have is action with random tactics and random activities, without the vision, without the plan, without the strategy, then you are merely passing time. But the vision, so that's your plan and your strategy with the right action, can change the world. And I would love you to come and join me and be one of those people who changes the world. Now, if you have any questions and you would like answers, please email me on dilys@dilysguyan.com. dilys@dilysguyan.com. Please come and join us for this program at www.dilysguyan.com/MMM. I would be delighted to see you on the other side. So please email me if you have any questions, dilys@dilysguyan.com. And I look forward to seeing you and working with you and helping you take your business to a place that was beyond your expectations.